Show for our second review out of our 12 reviews of Christmas. Whatever. Anyway, so obviously today we're doing two premium format figures, both Supermen.
Sideshow's two latest Superman premium format.
Yeah. So we have the comic book version and then the Man of Steel version. Big difference between these two is definitely that the Superman has all polystone. I mean, obviously the clothing, but polystone boots and polystone cape.
And the body, the entire statue.
As well.
Everything except his clothing. Even his boots are polystone. Everything, pretty much.
Where the Man of Steel, this was, I think, the first time they did do more of a plastic material for the base body and the head. This one does have a cloth cape with wire. And I think all of the seams are wired.
It almost looks leathery.
And
yeah, every seam is wired in there. So there's one, two, three. There's 6 wires in it.
This does look like it could be sculpted, but this is actually cloth.
The entire costume.
It is just really
including
well
the
fitted.
boots. Even the boots are totally fabric.
So, but honestly,
yeah, in all honesty, which one do you like better?
I honestly like the classic Superman
I do too, and I totally like it better. And it has absolutely nothing to do with this being plastic.
Right.
Nothing to do with it being plastic.
There are advantages, and in case you didn't know, polystone does have plastic in it also.
Yes, it does.
This is just a higher concentration of plastic, which makes it lighter and also makes it less likely to break if you drop it. I don't think it
or if you just bump something into it.
Yes. I don't think it will affect how well the paint applications work. I think in this case, I do like the Man of Steel figure, but there's something about the head sculpt I'm not too crazy about. Maybe just the reference photos they chose.
Another big thing I will say, same thing with the Hot Toys Man of Steel figure. They first put out the production photos. Some genius thought it was smart to say that, oh, he's too thick. He looks too muscular. He looks too...
He was muscular!
Meanwhile, if you look at the movie, Henry Cavill has a big ass. He's got big ass thighs. He's got big arms, big legs, big everything. So then Hot Toys went and decided, all right, you know what, people are complaining because everybody jumped on the bandwagon just like they always do. They went and they made him thinner and they made him taller. And then his figure is leaner and taller than Christopher Reeve. Meanwhile, Henry Cavill is, I believe, 6'2", and Christopher Reeve is 6'4", 6'5". So they blew that because they listen to these people that probably have no background in anatomy, probably have no creative ability. You know, you can't... when a person changes their position, the physique of their body totally looks different to the human eye.
You can't look at one reference photo and be like, oh, he looks thinner there.
Exactly.
Because from a slightly different angle, he
looks thicker.
Different.
Which is exactly, I think, the problem I have with this one. He's too thin. He looks way too lean, too thin. I mean, from the side, his waist, look how skinny his waist looks from the side. There's no way! Henry Cavill's thighs are bigger than that waist there. So, my biggest problem, yeah, I agree. The face, I don't know what's going on with the face. I think maybe a little too much texture. And the likeness is... It looks like Henry Cavill 15, 20 years in the future to me. That's what it looks like. It looks like him a little more mature, a little older. And it's too thin. Beside that, I think it's a very nice piece.
The costuming is
beautiful.
Impeccable.
Actually, this costume I think is better than the Hot Toys costume.
I agree. The coloring,
I think it's better.
The fit, everything. The costume is awesome.
Yeah, and they didn't put a bullet hole in his chest to mount the S symbol, which I don't know what the hell Hot Toys was thinking.
And the real cape is cool with the wiring throughout, so you can still get some pose out of it. It drapes nicely.
It's a real nice premium format. I mean, if you compare it to the Hot Toys figure, there's a huge difference in the head sculpt.
And I'm sure nobody would have complained if they took the 6-scale Hot Toys head sculpt in the same exact plastic material
and put it on
made it quarter scale. Nobody would have complained. Oh,
it's plastic.
It's plastic. It doesn't look.
I can guarantee guarantee you, if Sideshow didn't even write that it was plastic on the freaking description, nobody would have said a damn word about nothing.
Except that it's lighter.
So what? They would have been like, oh, it's nice and light. Oh, it's awesome.
But
bunch of straight... I hate to
anyway.
Bitches, man. But anyway. You know what it is? I'm an artist, and I know damn well the people who created this are so freaking talented. You know, nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. If you take a picture of Henry Cavill straight on and you make a statue of that, somebody takes a statue of that, one two-dimensional image, which these people are working with to make these sculptures, and you take him and you put him on a profile and you take a photo of that and you make a statue of that, those two statues are going to be extremely different. And that's because you're taking a two-dimensional image and you're manifesting a three-dimensional object from that. So this is extremely well done. Whether it's as good as looking at a photo of the real thing, that's, you know, but people are way too hard on these artists. And I must admit,
I do like that both Sideshow and Hot Toys, they are not doing 3D scanning. They are not taking 3D scans and duplicating. They are taking real artists.
They're not cutting corners.
That sculpt these things from reference photos and from video reference.
And they're keeping those artists alive, basically. Because if you look at movie posters and you look at freaking all of the stuff that's used for advertisement now compared to 25 years ago, look at all the classics from the 80s, Indiana Jones, the Star Wars films, the freaking, all of those films, they were artists painting those posters and doing the promotional stuff. Now it's all just graphic designers. Thank you very much, Sideshow and Hot Toys and whoever else is paying people to craft this stuff by hand and not take shortcuts and take the easy way out, you know, and just digitally scan these actors and so on's faces and stuff, because, you know, this is a good thing. Whether it's 85% or 100%, it's fantastic for me. Don't change what you're doing. Don't listen to those people complaining and bitching and moaning. If you have artists complaining and bitching and moaning about this stuff, then I could understand. But 90% of these people that are on the forums, they're probably 12 years old. They probably have, like I said, no creative abilities. They have no artistic background. They don't do anything like this themselves. So why does their word count for anything? And I don't mean to bitch and moan and brag.
People are entitled to opinions.
Yes,
but
they are.
You really do need to take a lot into consideration, the amount of work that goes into these, the amount of approvals they have to get. I mean, that it's possible they could have it done completely differently, and the licensor says you need to change this.
We don't like him looking that big. We want him thinner. Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it that the person, when they get this home, or when they're looking at photos of it, because they don't even buy the stuff, that they don't take into consideration, and the companies are limited by those factors. And
this just happens over and over and over and over again. Yeah, people just do the same thing.
But anyway, more about the pieces. We talked about the costuming on the Man of Steel. The costuming is really nice. You know, again, well fitted, and I just grabbed his butt there a little bit, but there's actually more of like a leatherette belt there. The symbol is a different texture.
This is like a vinyl almost, isn't it? It feels like a vinyl rubber mix or something.
It all looks good and time durable. It doesn't look like anything on either of these that seems like it would crack with time or deteriorate with time.
The only thing I wish they would have done with this guy, I totally wish they would have given you the option and included a fabric cape. Yeah, that would have been fantastic, because honestly, this looks great, but it scares the crap out of me when I gotta move it. Or
if they had used more of a material that they used for the Man of Steel.
Or a plastic. Yeah, yes. You know, I wish this was made out of plastic like this. That's wonderful, Wendy. Wonderful point. I wish this was made out of the material this is made out of. All you freaking crybabies out there.
It is a little scary. It is quite heavy.
Yeah, it's real heavy.
The connection points, obviously it's secure because it's doing okay.
It's well balanced. It doesn't.
But it is definitely a little scary.
It is.
It would be nice if it was lighter. But yeah, they're both great pieces. I happen to like the more classic comic book style Superman rendition better.
Yes, I do too.
But I have to say, the costuming on the Man of Steel is really absolutely
phenomenal.
incredible.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Every little nuance is well executed.
Yeah, it kicks Hot Toys Man of Steel costume in the ass 5 times over. It really does. It's so, you know, the major reason because of that is most likely because of the scale. I mean, the larger you get, the easier it is to work.
Fine
right.
And his suit does have a lot of fine details and contours.
It is. I'm sure if Hot Toys did one in this scale, it would probably be as nice as this, you know. But this is superior. Just, you know, it's beautiful. It's perfect.
A little side note: the hand seam. This looks like it's sculpted right on, almost like right onto it.
What?
The hand to the suit. So it's a very, very clean line. The thing, our Superman, I don't know if everybody's like that.
Oh
the
yeah, I didn't
sleeve
notice
is
that.
a little short. It constantly makes me want to like pull it down because the seam is right there.
I never noticed that before.
But it's a little shy.
You see? Look how people just complain about everything. Look up now. I never noticed that. Yeah, you can actually see the wrist seam there, but all you gotta do is really like pull it down from
this
here.
This one has a little more leeway. That one
there
seems.
You go. Just stretch that down for a few seconds and then let it.
Yeah, and tomorrow.
Wonderful.
Tomorrow it'll be back up, but it is, you know, that I definitely notice a difference. That's not going to happen on this one. The way it's designed, you will never see the wrist seam. And I don't think on this arm, just with the length, the seam is a bit away. I don't think you would ever see the seam on that side. But on ours, the seam gets exposed a little bit there, which isn't the end of the world.
I never noticed it before, so that you know,
but
that's nitpicking basically.
Yes, that is nitpicking. I mean, he's got the classic Superman curl on the forehead, and even, you know, the sculpt on the hair here from the side. You can see space between the hair and the forehead, you know, which is kind of nice. Gives the illusion that it's more of a separate piece. And the paint apps on the comic book style Superman, I really like the paint application. I like the edging on the hair. The eyes look great.
Yeah,
the color looks great.
Everything organic on this guy I like better. Everything costume wise on this guy I like better.
Not that there's anything wrong with this costume.
No, this is just a cooler costume in my opinion.
The
much more intricate and everything. Yeah.
And I honestly hadn't noticed it until seeing them side by side. It does make the Man of Steel look almost a little, not so much gray, but definitely less vibrant in the flesh tones. And maybe that's more realistic to how he looked in the film. Because it really didn't stand out to me till seeing them side by side, because this one's, you know, colors are pretty rich and very fleshy toned, where these are kind of more muted and mild in the flesh.
I bet for some reason they were forced to make this guy thinner. I bet they were. I can guarantee you this guy was not supposed to be this thin.
They tried to do him thicker and the licensor said no.
Didn't like it. I can guarantee it was something like that. I can totally guarantee, because this guy is way
because he's
thin,
way
man.
and he's way thin compared to.
He's way thin. That's exaggerated, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
That's way exaggerated as far as anatomy goes. But I mean, if you
Sideshow doesn't have a problem sculpting.
Well, it's supposed to be that way.
Stuff.
Well, he's supposed to. He's based on a comic. All comics, the anatomy is totally exaggerated. Every comic book. Now this guy here, I can guarantee you, if they went with the tape measure and did proportions of Henry Cavill's body, this thing is probably 15-20% too thin. Like, really, because he's a thick dude. At least he was in that film.
And he looked fine. It's not like he looked fat.
No.
He looked thick and muscular.
He looked like Superman. He looked like that. It's a badass piece. It's beautiful. I don't like it better than this one, but I usually don't like the movie stuff better than the comic stuff. So, good for me. Keep on doing it in plastic, Sideshow. Please. Make them all in plastic. I wish, honestly, I wish my Jabba throne was plastic. I wish my dewback was plastic. I wish all of those things were plastic because they would last longer.
Well, be less likely to get damaged.
That's what I mean. Eventually they will last longer. They will.
Well, that'll just make the people that don't break them have theirs more valuable, I guess.
On a bomb scale of 1 to 10. Doug, we gotta be honest. Don't worry about hurting nobody's feelings.
So I was gonna say 7.5.
Okay, I was gonna say 7.
And that's really just the choice.
And this guy's clearly for me a 9.5. Clearly, this guy's really close to perfect to me. And I totally love. I think his pose is way cooler. I think the fact that they stood him on a larger platform, you know. He's Superman, man. He should stand taller than Batman and Spider-Man and all those guys. He'll kick their freaking asses. He should be taller than that. So I like the fact that this guy's on a high base. His base. I think he would be cooler too if he was on a higher base. But it's a really nice base.
I like the style of the base.
Yeah, it's a really nice base.
And the detailing around the bottom.
Yep, I totally agree. I like the base. I just. Maybe if this was mounted on a second tier and it was like that high, it'll be. I think I might like it even more. They could have done
the same kind of thing and
more rock
and sure. Flipped it and had him more standing with his.
No, it would have.
It would be the same kind of thing. Yeah. But anyway.
Either way, though, I say 7. Wendy says 7.5 on this. I say 9.5 on this. You say, ooh, my ring. I gotta be careful. Yeah. I say 9.5.
Watch that polystone.
Yep, you see. Could do that to this guy all day and not worry about it. He ain't going nowhere. Man, people are funny.
I'd say almost a 9.5.
Almost a 9.5, so not a 9.5. So I like this guy more than Wendy does, and she likes this guy more than I do. By a half a point. Either way. Either way.
Not that we normally rate on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah. Either way, if I built this, if I made this, I would be so damn proud. To the people
and he's an artist. If I made it, I'd be like in tears,
to the people who are complaining about this
to
the people who are complaining about this being made out of plastic, honestly, shame on you. That's all I gotta say. It's an amazing sculpture, and what it's made out of should make no difference. If that's the case, then all Hot Toys figures are junk because they're all made out of plastic, right? Honestly. So what the hell's wrong with plastic now? I mean, what? It's because one person goes and complains about it.
I'm sure it's more than one, but
right. But there's everybody else is freaking riding the bandwagon.
Affect the paint applications. I think this isn't the best example because I'm not crazy about the face sculpt.
Yes.
But when you look at the paint app on it,
I just got coffee on my nose.
I mean, the detail and the hair, the edging, all of that looks great. You know, the sculpt could be a little bit better. I don't think the material had
however, not to interrupt, but sculpts can always be better.
That's true.
Okay, go ahead.
But I don't think in this case that the paint application was at all affected by the material. I think some people might not like the way it looks because of the overall sculpt and tones of the paint that was used, but the detail in the painting actually probably looks almost a little sharper on the Man of Steel. There's just more detail in the hair.
Yeah, he's rosier. He's a little more pasty. Yeah. Even though he's like seems more tan, he looks a little more pasty. But you know what? In the time to come, as Sideshow hopefully makes more plastic stuff,
we'll have a better
gauge, to compare, looking at different characters, looking at more smooth-skinned female characters, mechanical characters, totally different stuff. And and plus, if this is their first plastic, I mean, give them a freaking break, man. Give them a damn opportunity to hash out the freaking problems. Like, go freaking jumping on their back, lynching people for stuff like God. Anyway, you did a fantastic job, Sideshow, on both of these. This one's superior, phenomenal. I love it. It's actually my favorite Superman piece beside the Hot Toys Christopher Reeve Superman.
Okay, I thought you were
Right?
gonna
No. Beside the Hot Toys Christopher Reeve Superman, this is my favorite Superman piece, and I definitely like this way better than the Hot Toys Henry Cavill or this, or I say my Superman. Yeah, that's all we got. Yeah. Unfortunately, did they make an exclusive of this?
Probably.
This one they did with the eyes, right?
They did.
They did a little clip on you could put on his eyes or something to make his eyes look like that.
Cool.
One of them had some exclusive thing. We don't have the exclusive, but honestly, I probably wouldn't pose him with the little red things on his eyes. So
yeah,
I like him the way he looks. I like him natural. I don't, but both really cool pieces, and that's all.
Anyway, I'm sure opinions will differ from.
And I'm sure there's gonna be a bunch of people beating me up on the comments. You know what? Wonderful. I love you too.
So again, we will put the categories for our awards show in the description. I know we've said it before. Please get your votes in. We would love for your opinion to be represented.
Go ahead, keep talking. Just want to show the rear views of these guys. Let's see. Look how thin that dude is.
His butt was way bigger.
Yeah, look how thin that guy is. Come on.
The upper body doesn't look too bad.
He's
but
too
the
thin.
legs.
Yeah, he's too thin all around. I mean, I have a pretty good eye for anatomy. I've studied it for 30 freaking something years. Now this would be a lot fucking nicer if it was nice plastic that I could just lift easily and not be scared that shit's gonna break and fall over. But there you go. Now I'm holding him. But there you go. You get an idea of what the back of his cape looks like. It's beautiful.
You see a whole lot of cape.
Beautiful.
Either direction.
Beautiful.
Either piece.
But yeah, either way, both pieces are phenomenal. I love them both. If I could only pick one, it would obviously be that one. But in my opinion, this guy's clearly the bomb, and this guy's a really good first effort in what they're doing here. And like I said, I hope they keep doing it. I'd rather them make these things in plastic because
more durable.
More durable. Just that alone, because eventually they're going to be able to make. If the reason for this looking the way it does is because it was plastic, they're gonna sort that out in no time. So I'm happy with them both. So. I don't think so either. I just think this one just wasn't pulled off as good as they can do. That's all.
So, anyway, I think that's it for today.
Yeah, so please vote on our award show and participate so it can be a good representation and not just a couple of people's opinions. So.
And as always,
peace and love.